Hello, everyone. I'm Eric D'Souza, and thank you for joining us today for another episode of Crime Writers of Canada's podcast. If you're joining us today, this is the first, and Pam, you can tell me to change them if you need to, but I'm calling them the Bouchercon files. And we're going to be talking today to the team leader of Bouchercon 2026 in Calgary. And then after that, we're going to be chatting with all of the guest of honors for this year's Bouchercon. So I'm very excited. So as I mentioned before, our guest today is Pamela McDowell. How are you today, Pamela?
Great. Thank you, Eric. Nice to see you.
It's great to finally meet you too.
Mhm.
So a little bit about you. Pam McDowell loves reading mysteries, thrillers, cozies, historicals, procedures. She loves them all. Back in 1972, her grandmother gave her a copy of Nancy Drew's The Secret of the Old Clock, and Pamela has been a fan of mystery and crime fiction ever since. Today, Pam lives in Alberta and leads the team of more than 2 dozen writers, readers, booksellers, editors, and librarians as they prepare to host Bouchercon 2026 in Calgary, the World Mystery Convention. Um, I hope you don't mind. Kind of an odd question to ask you, but for anybody listening who doesn't know what this convention is, what is Bouchercon?
Yeah, it is pretty new to most people, especially in Western Canada. Bouchercon is the largest and longest running convention dedicated to mystery and crime fiction. It started back in 1970 as a way to recognize Anthony Boucher. So it's named after Anthony Boucher. He championed mystery and crime fiction in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And he really understood the importance of fans and readers. After his death, about 80 or so of his friends gathered for the first ever Anthony Boucher Memorial Mystery Convention in Santa Monica in 1970. So I'm really glad they shortened the name. But the event started out as and remains really a fan convention connecting readers and authors. So it's evolved now, though, into a 5-day event. And in our Calgary convention will run from October 21st to 25th. It's a big event.
Yeah, when I was doing my research, it definitely is a huge event. Um,
Mhm.
but it's only the second time that it's been in Canada. In 2017, it was in Toronto. And I hear stories from my friends about how fun it was, and they're very excited that it's back in Canada. I don't mean to put shade on Alberta, but I was like, how did Calgary pull this off?
Yeah, well, it actually has been in Toronto 3 times.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah, back to the 90s was the first time. And so, I think it's fair. Bring it west. But it is the first time that the convention has come to Western Canada. And I think that Calgary's very strong literary community and a very active community is part of the reason why. We also have a great reputation for having wonderful hospitality, and we were pretty sure that our team could put on a good event. And Calgary offers an exciting new destination for Bouchercon, regular Bouchercon attendees. Those are the fans that attend Bouchercon every year, and there's hundreds and hundreds of them. Uh, and they make the destination city sort of a vacation. They plan their vacation around the convention. And so Calgary is a very attractive and exciting new destination for those Bouchercon devotees. Our team's been working on the convention since 2022, so it's been a long time coming.
I've been to Calgary a few times for a different convention when words collide, and it
Mhm.
is fantastic. Not a prepared question, but let's sell Calgary a little bit. How far away is it to the Rockies? Which anybody who's coming for a vacation definitely should plan it. I think you helped plan it for them, right?
Yes, yes. No, the Rockies. 45 minutes to Canmore, a little bit further to Banff. If you want to rent a car, easy peasy. If you'd like to take a chartered tour, we have those on offer as well. So there's a lot of opportunity to explore for sure.
Yeah, and I'll give it my own personal pitch because last year I took one of those tours. Super highly recommend it.
Oh, good.
Amazing. I live in BC. It's hard for nature to amaze me, but, but I was amazed. And there's some pictures on my wall now from the trip that I took with my wife. It was fantastic. So anybody coming to Calgary for Bouchercon, from anywhere around the world, I highly recommend you give yourself some time to see Calgary and around Calgary. It's a beautiful city.
Mhm.
Um, I guess back to our scheduled questions. Um, you wrote your bio for yourself, and typical humble Canadian author fashion, you didn't mention your own books. So I'm going to look you up, and I saw that you read or you've written at least 65 books. They're YA, they're not mysteries. They are fiction and nonfiction, from books about writing about Selena Gomez to the founding fathers, um, fictional stories about bats in trouble and rescuing salamanders, but not I guess, the resume of the person I expected to be leading the number one mystery conference in North America. How did you get involved, and what should people expect at the convention?
Mhm. Well, true. I do write for, in fact, not YA, I write for little kids. I write for the 5 to 9-year-old set. Certainly no murder mysteries there. But I love to read mysteries. As my bio, as you said, I started with Nancy Drew, and then my mom got me hooked on Patricia Cornwell and Kathy Reichs, and then all of Michael Connolly and David Baldacci and all of those wonderful authors when I was, 12. So, so I really do love mystery writing. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to write a mystery, but I do love reading. And so that's how I got involved with this convention because it is for fans as well. We do attract those best-selling authors and mid-list and want to be authors, aspiring authors, but the fans have to be there. They really do. And that's what makes the authors successful is if they've got those fans. And so to connect the two of them is really a lot of fun.
And we said big.
Yes.
It's nice to put numbers on big. How many fans are we expecting?
Yes, yes. Well, we weren't sure, when we first got started, I thought, oh, maybe 1,100 people will come. Not sure how big it's going to get. Well, we've hit that now, and we're 7 months away. So we do expect close to 1,500 attendees, maybe more. We're well ahead of our targets for registration. Interesting to note that 25% of those already are Canadian. And it's almost an even split between readers and writers. But registrants are also asked to mention if they are booksellers, librarians, editors, um, other industry professionals, because Bouchercon attracts a very diverse audience that enjoys or works with mystery and crime fiction.
Um, I can tell, actually, even in your voice, that you're very excited for about your con 2026. Why should people be excited about this?
Oh, people are very excited for a few different reasons. Our guest of honor list is fabulous. We've got a host of literary luminaries from Canada, the United States, the United Kingdom, and people like Louise Penny, Kathy Reichs, Mark Greaney. They always draw a crowd. But this year there's new excitement building. I heard it when I was down in New Orleans talking about Bouchercon Canada. I heard some excitement for fans looking for new authors, new authors to read, Canadian authors, and we have lots who've never attended Bouchercon before. Our programming is going to reflect this. We'll have some very interesting panels on um, deadly Canada, um, setting as character, and crossing jurisdictions. So there's new excitement for Bouchercon. About 30% of our registrants say that they've never been to Bouchercon before. So this is exciting, very exciting. But the other exciting part is, as you mentioned, exploring a new city. And so, yes, we have those tours out to Banff Lake Louise, Jasper, also down to southern Alberta, exploring Waterton Lakes National Park, the Badlands in Drumheller. Um, there are activities in the city before the convention. Vertigo Mystery Theater is going to offer a production of their 50th anniversary play just for Bouchercon. And Tourism Calgary's got all kinds of discounts for our attendees. So yeah, there's a lot of excitement about exploring the city and seeing our great guest of honor list and authors.
Yeah, definitely. People who I've never been before, so I'm excited to be going for the first time. I've been to many other conventions though, and people keep telling me it's different. So,
Mhm,
what makes BoucherCon different than the other
mhm.
conventions?
Yeah, so it is a fan convention, not a writers' conference. And that's probably the biggest difference. Our team is working really hard to create opportunities where fans can connect with their favorite authors, to meet them, to actually talk with them, for opportunities for industry professionals to network, ways that we can all gather together to build community and connection. Um, Something really new that we have, it's new to Bouchercon even, is for 2026, we're going to celebrate book collectors with panels, presentations, and a special interactive display from the University of Calgary's Special Collections Library. They're going to showcase select items from the Steele Curry collection of more than 8,000 volumes of mystery, thriller, and espionage fiction. So I don't know how they're going to choose, but they will bring not quite 8,000. Steele sought out booksellers and authors from around the world um, to find great stories in for his collection. But he was also a really wonderful supporter of Bouchercon for decades. So we are recognizing Steele posthumously as our fan guest of honor, and that makes this showcase of his collection even more special.
Yeah, it's a very nice touch. I'm glad that you're adding to something that's already great. As I mentioned, this is going to be my first BoucherCon. I'm imagining I'm not alone. Some people get very nervous about going to these conventions,
Mhm.
um, because we don't know what to expect. But what are some of the ways that if this is a fan convention, how is it different? Not how is it different? That's not the right word. But how are fans going to meet and talk to their favorite authors?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, those connections are super important, and uh, uh, there are always surprise connections at Bouchercon. Last year in New Orleans, I bumped into Michael Connolly in the Cafe Beignet across the street from the convention hotel. So you never know who you're going to meet in the elevator or in the lobby bar. The lobby bar is often the place to be every evening. So that's a great way to start. But our team is crafting a packed program uh, so that if you aren't the social butterfly for the lobby bar, you could participate in the Q&A after a panel discussion. You could, of course, get a book signed by your favorite author. After every panel grouping, there's going to be book signings. Publishers will host hospitality suites with lots of giveaways. That's a great place to grab a cup of coffee and chat with your new friends. And there are lots of special events planned to bring people together. But on the Saturday, we're going to have some real fun with 325 young readers at Kids Bouchercon. So that's kind of cool. This will be held at the main branch of the Calgary Public Library with several of our authors, as well as our kids guest of honor, Kevin Sands. And that will be a lot of fun and a totally different kind of interaction and connection.
Yeah, you were very kind to tell me that I'm going to be interviewing all the guest of honors, which I got super excited about. But
Mhm.
the kindness was you told me months ago, um, because often tell people I only read Canadian mystery authors. It sounds patriotic. It's partially also because I interview Canadian mystery authors, and I'm a slow reader, so it's pretty much all I get to read. So thank you for giving me a heads up. I got to catch up on my Kathy Reichs and my Mark Greaney. It's been a while since I visited them. So happy to do it again. In the next little month or so, we're going to be interviewing all of the members, or sorry, all of the guest of honors. Um, I happy to talk about them, but and you mentioned three of them. Do you want to say a little bit about all of them?
Sure, sure. We have 9 guests of honor. Louise Penny is, of course, our lifetime achievement guest of honor, and we're quite excited. She is going to take a very active role in the convention. Fans will see her participating in a number of different events. She's going to be handing out an Anthony Award on the Saturday evening. So, lots of excitement there and a big book signing for her. Kathy Reichs is our cross-border guest of honor. Um, I mean, she epitomizes our theme of cross-border. She works in both Canada and the United States, and her books are set in both countries. So, but she also pushes borders by she's moved over to young adult as well. She does some young adult writing, but then she's also got television. So she's really crossing all those borders. Abir Mukherjee is our international guest of honor from the UK. And he's got a historical mystery series, which is really fabulous. He also hosts his historical mystery series is set in India during the British Raj era of India, and he hosts uh, river cruises into the areas that he writes about. So that I have to do that. As soon as this convention's over, I'm on one of those cruises. Mark Greaney is our American guest of honor. The Gray Man, you might know him from Netflix. Fabulous, very exciting thriller writing. And Jennifer Hillier, Canadian guest of honor. Her books keep me up at night, but fabulous, but I don't get a lot of sleep. Vicki Delany, our cozy guest of honor, prolific, so many series and so many fans. Kevin Sands, our kids guest of honor, he has a few different series and has been nominated for and won awards for his writing. Um, not just mystery, but incorporates elements of mystery. His books are about heists and things like that, and great fun. PJ Vernon is our Toastmaster. He's kind of a local celebrity here in Calgary, and he has some very impactful um, thriller, psychological, very, dark, but excellent writer. And Steele Curry, our fan guest of honor, being recognized posthumously. Yeah, that's quite a list.
That is an amazing list. And some of those names I didn't recognize when I first saw them, but again, thank you for the heads up because I got to
Mhm.
read their books and fantastic. If anybody's listening to this now and they don't know those names, look them up, go to the library, however, you go to your independent bookstore and get their books because they're fantastic. If you get to meet them, even better.
Mhm.
Um, one quick shout out, I saw that you've got your book vendor signed. I
Mhm.
know it's a local company and I've met I think the owners and the employees, fantastic. Writers, if they want to get their books in, should contact them. Do you want to say a little bit about Owl's Nest?
Yes, yes. Owl's Nest is, I think, now the longest running bookstore here in Calgary, and they are going strong. Independent bookstore. They are they have worked at various large conventions here in Calgary before, and are very adept at handling this much volume. So yes, they're on their website or on our website. There is a link and you can probably access it via theirs as well, for authors to complete an application form to ensure that their books will be offered in the bookstore.
Great. And you referenced the website. So a great place for learning more about Bouchercon. Is that where you're directing everyone or should they sign up for newsletters? What else should they do?
Yes, yes. Well, our website is definitely the best place to visit and to check back frequently because um, we're updating it almost weekly now. There's so much happening. Bouchercon2026.com. Um, There, you can sign up for a newsletter. Once you register as well, you'll get a newsletter with updates of everything that's happening. But we're also on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll be very active there during the convention. So if you're not at the convention, you can follow all the action on social media.
Great. And Crime Writers of Canada is like we're part of your media room and part of your media empire. So I'm happy that you invited us. Thank you so much. Pam, I imagine you're super busy. This talk went longer than I told you it was going to go. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Oh, thank you very much, Eric. We'll see you in October.
See you in October.